In this lesson, we will be learning about solving multi-step inequalities. Okay, so just to review before we get started, whenever we see greater than or equal to, okay, we get a filled in circle because it could be equal to, and it's greater than, okay? If we have less than or equal to, we have a filled in circle because we're including it, and we're going less. Greater than, okay, we're not including the point, so it gets an open circle going to the right. And less than gets an open circle, so we're not including, going to the left, okay? What you'll also see in this video is that if I multiply or divide by a negative number, I'm going to flip the sign, okay? So let's try a few. Okay, so looking at the first one, we want to solve and graph each inequality. Okay, so here what I want to do is I want to get all of my x's on one side, just like we're solving an equation. So now I have negative 2x minus 8 is greater than negative 30. Okay, and then I'm going to bring my 8 to the right. So now I have negative 2x is greater than negative 22. Okay, so here I'm going to be dividing by a negative number. Okay, so anytime we divide by a negative number or multiply by a negative number, this sign right here is flipped. Okay, so I'm going to flip that sign. So now I have x is less than 11. Okay, so to go ahead and graph this, okay, I'm going to have 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so because I just have less than, I'm not including 11, so I get an open circle and I'm going to the left to show all the values less than 11. Okay, so x is all of these numbers that are less than 11. Okay, so let's go ahead and try the next one with using distributive property. Okay, so here I want to distribute, so the 3d just comes down. I distribute negative 2. Negative 16d, distribute negative 2 times negative 9 is positive 18, which is going to be greater than 3. This means negative 2d, it's like negative 1 here, negative 7. Okay, so now I'm going to combine like terms. So I have 3d and negative 16d, which is negative 13d plus 18. Is greater than, here I can combine 3 and negative 7, negative 4 minus 2d. I'm going to put this in a different color so you can see this is my greater than sign. Okay, so now I'm going to move my 2d to the left-hand side. So negative 13 plus 2 is negative 11d plus 18 is greater than negative 4. Okay, this became 0. Now I'm going to move 18 to the right. So I have now 11d, this is 0, is greater than negative 22. Okay, so here again I'm dividing by a negative number. Okay, whenever we're dividing or multiplying by a negative, this sign right here is going to flip. So now I have d is less than 2. Okay, I'm going to move my graph up. And I'm going to use this line here for my graph. So if I want d is less than 2, okay, it gets an open circle because it's less than 2, and I'm going to the left. Okay, so now let's try one using fractions. Okay, so here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2/3 x to the left. Okay, so because I need to get a common denominator, 1/2 could be 3/6, and 2/3 is 4/6. Okay, so I have 3/6 minus 4/6, which is negative. I'm sorry, I'm adding, which is going to be positive 7/6. Okay, so then minus 4 is greater than or equal to 26. So now I'm going to add 4 to the right. And here I have 7/6 is greater than or equal to 30. 7/6x. So then to get x by itself, I need to multiply by the reciprocal. This will cancel. Okay, so now I just have x is greater than or equal to 180/7, which is equal to 25.71. Okay, so I just divided 180 divided by 7. So now if I want to graph, okay, so I'm just going to put my 0 here, and I'm going to count by 5s. Okay, so 25.71 is just to the right. Okay, it's filled in because I'm including this number, and it's greater than. So I'm going to the right. Okay, so this is showing all the numbers that are bigger or greater than 25.71. Okay, so this one is what we call an empty set. Okay, and so you'll see what the difference looks like here. So I first need to distribute 8t plus 16 minus 3t plus 12 is less than or equal to 5t minus 35 and then plus 8. Okay, so now I can combine like terms. 8t minus 3t gives me 5t, and 16 plus 12 gives me 28. Okay, is less than or equal to, here I can combine negative 35 and 8, which is negative 27. So here I have 5t minus 27. Okay, so let's move my 5t over here. Okay, so you'll notice that these both become 0, and now I just have 28 is less than or equal to negative 27. Okay, this is not true. 28 is not less than or equal to negative 27. Okay, so this would be considered an empty set, which is written right up here. So this is an empty set, and this statement is false. Okay, so pause the video and try this one and also the next one on your own, and then you can check back. Okay, so here what we could have done is subtract 4x on both sides. So then you have negative x minus 5 is greater than negative 12. Okay, then if I add 5, I have negative x is greater than negative 7. Okay, so we can think of this as like negative 1x because we don't want a negative. Okay, remember that here if I'm multiplying or dividing by a negative number, which I am doing, I need to flip this sign. Okay, so you should have x is less than 7. Okay, so to graph that, okay, it's less than 7, it's not included, and I'm going to the left because these are all the numbers that are less than 7. Okay? Okay, so same for this one. Pause the video for a moment and try it on your own. Okay, so here what we want to do is we want to distribute first. Okay, so you should get 10h minus 30 minus 7h minus 49 is less than or equal to 4h. Okay, so now I can combine my h's, 10 minus 7 is 3h. And then I have negative 30 and negative 49. Okay, so that's going to give me negative 79, which is less than or equal to 4h. Okay, so if I subtract 3h, I get negative 79 is less than or equal to h. Okay, and just 1h. So you could leave it like this, okay, but usually you read it with the variable first. So h, if we look at it the same direction, if we read it backwards, this would say h is greater than or equal to 79. So h is greater than or equal to negative 79. Okay, so here, if this is my 0, I'm going to count by 20s. Negative 20, negative 40, negative 60, negative 80. Okay, and we're at negative 79. So right here, and it's greater than. So greater than or equal to, so it's going to get filled in, and we're going to the right.